Hi, I'm Joe Levy, the CEO of Sophos, and I'm excited to talk to you today for a few minutes about what it means to bring together the two companies, Sophos and Secureworks. First of all, very excited about the opportunity to bring in the Taegis platform into Sophos Central. Taegis is the security operation platform that Secureworks built, embodying the 25 years of experience that they had delivering security services to their customers worldwide. Taegis is one of the best security operation platforms in the industry, both in terms of an XDR product that you can operate on your own, or as the basis for the delivery of an MDR service where we deliver the security operations for your benefit. Now, what we're really excited about is that for SecureWorks customers, that means there's going to be a continuity of experience where everything that they've come to love about Taegis is going to continue to be available to them as part of the broader Sophos Central operating platform. And for Sophos customers, what this means is that over the course of time, your experience is going to be upgraded to this new Taegis operating platform. You're going to hear a little bit more from our product leadership team about what those milestones and deliverables are going to look like in just a little bit. But before I pass it over to them, I also want to tell you what this means in terms of our security operations and our threat intelligence. So for a number of years now, Sophos has operated the Sophos XOps team, which is a global team of experts comprising analysts and threat intelligence operators, our data science team, and they've provided all of the intelligence that powers the entire portfolio of Sophos products. The Sophos XOps team is about to be made better by the incorporation of a couple of capabilities that came over from Secureworks. First, the advisory services, and second, the CTU or the counter threat unit. These two units are coming over and they're going to become part of Sophos XOps, and they're going to be operating for the benefit of the combined set of customers. So the capabilities that we have around threat intelligence and engaging on different sorts of security advisory services has just been made better by bringing these two teams together. Now, to give you a little more detail, I'm going to turn it over to our product leadership team. They're going to tell you about some of the milestones that we've hit and the deliverables that we've already brought to market and what to expect in the near future.
Thanks very much, Joe. So I'm Rob Harrison, SVP of Product Management for our SecOps Services business, and I'm joined by Kyle Falkenhagen, SVP of Product Management for our Products and Platform business. We're going to talk to you today a little bit about the integration roadmap, everything that we've achieved already, and also what's coming over the next few quarters, and just communicating transparently as much as possible. But please feel free to follow up with any more detailed questions that we don't cover today with your local rep. So first of all, the integration roadmap. So as you can see, we've already achieved a huge amount post-acquisition. We closed the acquisition in February, and we had some really fundamental goals post-acquisition. It was all about continuing to provide continuity of service and continuity of product roadmaps and product investments and support for all of those products across the Secureworks portfolio, whether that be XDR or network detection response, identity detection response, VDR, VMS, or any other capabilities. So we've continued with that core goal. And now as we've moved forward, we've focused on the next milestone, which is all about bringing the Sophos endpoint into the Taegis XDR platform. And just to highlight, that's not to say that we're changing our strategy. We're still fully supportive of third-party endpoint capabilities, but we wanted to give the option of that industry-leading Sophos endpoint capability and EDR capabilities for the customers that want that option. As we go on to the next milestone, it's all about integrating products in both directions. So what we mean by that is, if you're a Secureworks customer and you want to evaluate the Sophos firewall or the Sophos email capabilities as examples, you can do that. And then in the opposite direction, if you're a Sophos customer, we want to make available some of the advisory services or the identity detection response capabilities that Secureworks customers can already benefit from. So really bringing together some of those really differentiated capabilities for both organizations' customer bases. And then as we move to milestone 4, it's, where it gets super exciting. We're basically taking all of that Taegis XDR capability that Joe was mentioning and making it available in Sophos Central. So we have that unified experience, whether you're a Sophos customer or a Secureworks customer, you're now going into Sophos Central, getting that full deep breadth of capabilities with the Taegis security operations platform in Sophos Central, whether that be self-service XDR or managed services via MDR MXDR. And then finally, when we think about future innovation, that really sets us up with a very firm foundation for the future. But that's not to say we're not continuing to innovate now. As one example, we're putting a huge investment into Gen AI now, which is all about making XDR more efficient, making our own MDR analysts have more efficient ecosystem to operate in as well. That's just one example. But for today, we're going to really focus on milestones 2, 3, and 4. So I'm now going to hand over to Kyle, who's going to talk about the endpoint integration in particular.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. So let's dive into what we're calling stage 2. So we've actually broken this out into 2 substages. The first substage was making the Sophos endpoint, the protection capabilities in particular, available to existing Taegis NGAV customers. So that was a smaller subset of customers that were using a Taegis NGAV solution. We've now replaced that with the Sophos protection capability, and those customers have been using that in conjunction with the Taegis platform since March. The second step that we're heading towards is the full integration of the Sophos endpoint into Taegis and making that available for all Taegis XDR and MDR customers. So starting in August, when you go to Taegis Endpoint Management, you will now see all of the different versions of the Sophos endpoint for Windows, Linux, and Mac you can download and start to take advantage of. The Sophos Endpoint Agent is a market-leading endpoint solution. It's been a Gartner MQ leader 16 times. It does incredibly well in the MITRE evals, SC Labs evaluations. It comes with protection, control features, incident response features, and you're going to be able to take advantage of this free of charge. It is included in the subscription that you already have for Taegis XDR or Taegis MDR. While this will be available, and we will be working with customers to move over time from the Taegis Endpoint Agent and the Red Cloak Endpoint Agent to the Sophos Endpoint Agent, we are not requiring it. As Rob stated, we continue to support an open ecosystem of third-party technologies, and we remain committed to supporting other third-party endpoint solutions in the Taegis platform, just like we have to date.
The next thing we're talking about that I mentioned was advisory services. So Secureworks already had a really broad portfolio of proactive advisory services, like things like network penetration testing, web application security testing. And over the last month, we've actually launched a subset of those into the Sophos ecosystem and Sophos customer base. So you're already seeing that value now where we're able to offer more proactive services into the Sophos customer base. In October, we're going to be launching Identity Threat Detection Response, what was previously Secureworks IDR, again into that Sophos install base. So identity, it's a very prevalent threat. It's very easily compromised these days when you don't have a good security solution in place. And we're going to be taking, the power of the XDR capabilities and MDR and adding and layering identity threat detection response, looking at things like risky user behavior, identity security posture management, some really compelling use cases that really fulfill and broaden that security operations portfolio. But now let's have a look at the fully converged security operations platform with Milestone 4.
Milestone 4 is really what we're spending a significant amount of effort on this year, and that is bringing the Taegis platform into Sophos Central. So the Taegis platform, both its ingest, detection pipelines, as well as the core workflow experiences that it has in the product, will be the go-forward XDR solution for Sophos. Having said that, we do want to bring Taegis under the Sophos Central umbrella so that you can access it along with all of the other solutions that you may get from Sophos. So as part of this effort, we're going to be re-solutioning essentially all of the Sophos XDR and MDR customers into Taegis, and we will be moving the Taegis user experience into the Sophos Central umbrella. So this won't happen in its entirety until the first part of next year. We're currently targeting the April timeframe. Over the period from now until then, though, you will start to see some incremental improvements to the Taegis platform. There's some things that Sophos did really well. To give some examples, things like live response, live discover, and AI assistant. we are going to actually be bringing that functionality into the Taegis platform between now and the end of the year. And then as we get into early next calendar year, that's when we'll begin the migration efforts of the Sophos customers onto the Taegis platform. So more to come as we get closer to that. Just know that a lot of work going into bringing the best of these two solutions together.
Now, to touch on it from a managed detection response perspective, having all that platform capability, then layered with some of the Gen AI capabilities that I talked about earlier to make sure we're getting even more efficient, plus bringing our analyst organizations together. We will now have over 500 analysts serving over 30,000 MDR customers. And it's going to be an amazing experience. Some of the value you get with MDR when you get to that scale is all of the shared learnings and knowledge detections capabilities and visibility across so many different industries and organizations to really make sure we're doing the best protection, detection, and then instant response when required. So that's going to be underpinned by the XDR convergence. And then with MDR, you're going to see that we're able to just keep improving the level of outcomes we can deliver, which results in better time to detect, better mean time to respond. And that's what it's all about fundamentally, best protection, amazing detection, and then responding when you need to as rapidly as possible.
As you can see, we have a really clear and robust plan for bringing the two companies together. We're delivering on that roadmap and everything is going according to plan. I wanted to remind you of a couple of the integration principles that Rob shared at the beginning. The first is that we are putting the customer experience at the center of all of this activity. We want to ensure that our customers, whether they're existing Sophos customers or existing Secureworks customers, have the optimal experience as we go through this transition. The second is that we are committed to providing maximum security rigor at all times. We are not making any decisions that would degrade the security posture of our customers. We are committed to providing the most robust security protections that we can throughout this entire process. We value the trust that you all place in us and the work that we do to help secure your organization. And by bringing all of this technology and intelligence together between these two organizations, we know that we're going to be able to deliver better security outcomes and better defenses for your organization. We'll be sharing regular integration updates as we move forward, but in the meantime, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your representative. Thank you for your time.